I didn't expect to not be a monk at this point in my life. And I was happily dedicating my full body and mind to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha for a long time, and by the end of 2021, it looked like I would happily be a monk for the rest of my life. And suddenly, causes and conditions changed, and I'll go into that in a minute. Um, but as I was considering this change, it's not so much a matter of um, weighing up the pros and cons. I mean, there's a little bit of that, but something just started shifting inside of me, and I realized that I've always followed my heart. That's how I ended up as a monk in the first place. You know, I mean, how many religion majors from Carleton actually end up as a full-time monastic? Um, but I've always kind of trusted my gut and what felt right. And suddenly it was like, well, I seem to be getting some, I don't know, for lack of a more precise term, messages from the universe. And so then I really had to think, consider, this is something you can't really, you really do burn your bridges. You can't just go back and go back to being a senior monk. You, so it was like, all right, if I go through with this, then it was difficult to know would I still feel my life had meaning, right? Even though we talk about non-identification all the time, still I identified as being a monk. And it's like, okay, well, how is it going to affect my self-identification? Would I still feel like I had purpose in my life? Um, those were those were valid questions that I didn't know the answer to. So then, in a nutshell, I found my life still does have meaning. I've never say fallen into a sense of lack of meaning or purpose, and everything has actually been wonderful. I've had it's it's been a great period in my life. And then don't get me started on romance and relationships. Talk about talk about when the Dhamma rubber hits the road, that's when that's when you really find out uh, how enlightened you are, how how many defilements you still have remaining.